Day 15, Lover of the Heart of Jesus. This week, we'll focus on the example and words of a third great teacher of the Marian Consecration, Blessed Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She is notable for the way she puts Marian Consecration into context. In other words, while de Montfort and Colbert give us main details of the Marian Consecration, Mother Teresa helps us see it more fully within the big picture of the most intimate relationship with Christ. Although we won't immediately begin reflections on her devotion to Mary, we'll get to them soon enough. Who is the Blessed Mother Teresa of Calcutta? She's easy to understand. All we really need to know are two words: I thirst. These words, the heart of Jesus, spoken from his agony on the cross, were Mother's whole concern, her everything, and the same could be said of Our Lady. The deepest desire of the hearts of both Mother Teresa and the Mother of God is to saturate the thirst of the heart of Jesus for love and for souls. In this sense, Mother Teresa's life is a revelation of the heart of Mary and presents one of the richest expressions of the Marian Consecration. We'll reflect on the details of this revelation and example during the many days that follow, but first, let's ponder on an overview of her life as a whole. Mother Teresa's home parish is in her native Macedonia and was fittingly called Sacred Heart. Fittingly, because, as she herself has said, from childhood the heart of Jesus has been my first love. This love may have begun when at the age of 5, she received the Eucharistic heart of Jesus for the first time. On that occasion, she experienced the Lord's unburning thirst for souls. Over the years, this thirst grew and blossomed into a conviction that at the age of 12, God was calling her to be a missionary. When she was 18, she joined the Institute of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Loreto Sisters, and applied to go to their missions in Bengal, India, where she was sent the next year. After a year of novitiate, Teresa was assigned to the Loreto community in Calcutta and appointed to teach at St. Mary's Bengali Medium School for Girls. The new sister would serve there for more than a decade and a half. Mother Teresa's years at St. Mary's were happy ones. She was a joyful, generous, hard-working sister. In fact, she was so generous with the Lord that, with the permission of her spiritual director, she made an extraordinary vow to refuse Jesus nothing. 5 years later, Jesus tested this vow in a big way. On September 10, 1946, while on a train to her yearly retreat, the 36-year-old experienced what she described as a call within a call. The details of this call became clear in the subsequent weeks and months through a flood of mystical experiences that included visions. At the heart of this call was the burning thirst of Jesus for love and for souls, and it pleaded Teresa to found the Missionaries of Charity religious congregation. Regarding the latter, as if to remind her of the vow she had made, Jesus kept repeating to her, "Wilt thou refuse?" Mother Teresa did not refuse the Lord. After her retreat, she spoke with her spiritual director and with his permission contacted the bishop. When the bishop hesitated to approve her plans, she wrote to him, "Don't delay your grace, don't put it off. Let us take away from the heart of Jesus his continual suffering." In the same letter, she repeated this idea. Let us bring joy to the heart of Jesus and remove from his heart those terrible sufferings. Eventually, the bishop gave his approval and Mother founded the Missionaries of Charity, whose general purpose she describes as follows: to saturate the thirst of Jesus Christ on the cross for love and souls. From the beginning of the new congregation, Mother Teresa began to experience such terrible darkness in her soul as if everything was dead. At times, it seemed unbearable, and she frequently found herself on the brink of despair. In 1961, she received the light in the darkness. After conversation with the holy priest, she realized that her painful longing was actually sharing the thirst of Jesus. For the first time in this 11 years, I have come to love the darkness, for I believe now that it is a part, a very, very small part of Jesus' pain and darkness on earth. Teresa's experience of darkness and painful longing continued to the end of her life. She found strength to persevere because, as her spiritual director put it, she realized that the darkness was actually a mysterious link that united her to the heart of Jesus. What about us? Do we yet realize the mysterious link between the darkness we sometimes experience in our own lives and that of the Lord's suffering? Let us ponder Mother Teresa's words on suffering that come from her own experience and so, like her, become better lovers of the heart of Jesus. Suffering has to come because if you look at the cross, he has got his head bending down. He wants to kiss you and has both hands open wide. He wants to embrace you. He has his heart open wide to receive you. Then, when you feel miserable inside, look at the cross and you will know what is happening. Suffering, pain, sorrow, humiliation, feelings of loneliness are nothing but the kiss of Jesus, a sign that you have come so close he can kiss you. Do you understand, brothers, sisters, or whoever you may be? Suffering, pain, humiliation. This is the kiss of Jesus. At times, you come so close to Jesus that he can kiss you. I once told this to a lady who was suffering very much. She answered, tell Jesus not to kiss me, to stop kissing me. That suffering has to come that came in the life of Our Lady, that came in the life of Jesus. It has to come in our life also. Only never put on a long face. Suffering is a gift from God. It is between you and Jesus alone inside. What we understand from today's reflection from day 15 is that suffering is a necessary part of our faith, and it is through suffering that we find ourselves drawing closer to Christ, who is the source of our strength. One of my favorite saints, St. Faustina, is one of the role models for suffering. She spent much of her life suffering for the salvation of souls, and it is through her suffering that she found joy in doing even the most trivial of daily things, such as cleaning or cooking. Looking at her life as well as Mother Teresa as an example of suffering, we learn to rely on Christ, but also to welcome suffering and understand how to work that suffering for His kingdom. During these current times, we can find our faith being put to the test. We sometimes find ourselves feeling alone or restless and possibly even abandoned by God as we watch people suffer around us. But we can use those feelings of loneliness and despair and desolation for the salvation of souls by uniting our suffering to Christ's suffering on the cross, thereby converting our lows for the glory of His kingdom and for the salvation of souls. Today's prayer. Come, Holy Spirit, living in Mary, help me to find the love of the heart of Jesus hidden in the darkness.